What is going on, Roland Empire? I want to give you guys like a top three kind of thing of a list for a franchise and whatnot. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna talk a little bit about John Wick. I've reviewed probably the last one. Yeah, the last one. But I'm gonna give a little bit of my insight of what I think of the whole movie, the whole trilogy. It's man, it's just what a franchise. It's just the way it started with like even the first announcement of the very first film only being like not that far from when it was going to hit theaters and then becoming what it is now with the third in the franchise, seeing it evolve in that kind of way, and just interesting how it started with a certain premise. That's all you needed to root for this man, and the way the mythology, the lore has just expanded and it's become this whole universe now. And then interesting, like for this character, I feel like he has an arc now that I'm interested to see the people. But hey, if they also make more movies for this guy, I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna not see it. What the heck? I was like, no, I'll see it just to be like, okay, let me see what stories they have. But for right now, there's three for the Keanu Reeves John Wick version, and it's been a ride. It's definitely been a ride. A lot of it, the story is what it is, at least as long as you're hooked now, you're hooked with this character, you're gonna have fun with all these installments. But now it's all about kicking ass, having all this action. This is wonderful, the style is amazing kind of thing. It's just that's what you want. And I'm gonna start out with John Wick Chapter 2. That one, they're all good. It's just this one's the lowest. You can kind of tell now this one walked so the next one could just run kind of thing. But it was nice to kind of transition where like how the original was just very minimal in the groundedness of like the story, and how this one was going to start expanding, realizing the stakes are higher, the realizing is just like the repercussions, especially from John, what he has to go through, what the consequences and all that. And it's just it's an interesting take of how to build, and it's still good. It's just certain kind of like beats weren't as best compared to what was before and what is after kind of thing. But it was who you're here to root for, and that's kind of like what you're expecting, and you get that, you enjoy that kind of thing. And then the next one is John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. That one definitely, like I said, this one, it walked so it could run. Like it walks because it runs kind of thing. And this one just shows what you're about now, what is gonna become this universe. And seeing now, everybody come in, like who to expect, in this universe now. You have Halle Berry, Lawrence Fishburne, people just get more fleshed out now. Like the plot, yeah, like thickens in a way. It's just like now more of what goes on. Also with John, his history, but not so much because you still know what this character is. You kind of want that element of surprise that just makes him so good. But you realize, how strong he is, how vulnerable he is, how people hate him, how people love him, kind of stuff. This one definitely just showed like, wow, dude, and then like seeing like how much it will go visually, how much it'll go with the action, and then even it does a little bit of a kind of like a turn that was like, okay, it was warranted, but it's nice still to keep it with what the franchise is. And then this is just, it intensifies now, like it gives you more of the stakes again of like who he's facing, what he has to kind of overcome, that kind of stuff. And it's nice, like what they would do, give little nods, give little Easter eggs, but still make it, it's all about, this movie, like the way this movie is going to advance, but still it has a story, again, they're not the best, but they're good. Like, okay, as best, it's hard to find. As good, you'll be like, okay, this is it. I found it. This is what is going to be a good time for a movie. But still, this one pays off, and then you just expect for it to just be, you're like, man, balls to a wall. You're like, man, what else is going to go on? What's going on with the story? And then coming in at number one is John Wick. That's the one that started it. The way, this guy just wants to have a marriage. He wants to retire, and then these people just disrespect, they disrupt his peace, his solitude. And you're like, oh man, you just want to see this guy get revenge, get vengeance, just kick some ass. And it really does pay the way. That's how this is the guy we follow for. This is the guy you want him to just have a good life and all that. And just, but seeing him like go out, like throughout the movies, you want him to still contain some the human side of this. And I feel like they've done it fairly well. But it was nice to get like, this is the one that like you realize, okay, this is the layout of what the movies are going to be, how, the style's going to be, how the direction's going to be, all that stuff. That's really, the take of what the catalyst is. And seeing him now become, you know, the John Wick he is, it's nice to keep him just like I said, so human, so relatable, because that is the trick, at least with these movies. Say what you want when they make the other spin-offs, but this is the guy that started it, and as long as she can contain it. And I'm very satisfied that at least the first three movies, have been very fun in that way, and it's been a really just a good time. It's just it's now what you're here for, and just like it depends. It's like if you started with the first one, you can't get on board that, you're not gonna get on board with the other ones. But if you have started it and you loved it, you're gonna have a good time with the other ones. It's that kind of thing, and it's nice to have a nice action movie. Just an action movie, you can just be like, have a good time, see so many people kick ass, you're like, yeah, and then it's still motivational, and it's enough to just be like, okay, it's a film, okay, it's a film where you're like, okay, you're not wasting time. Your time is being appreciated. It's taking, for granted. It's like in a good way. It's just like you have a reason why you're seeing these movies, and just yeah, it's John Wick is a nice like franchise to have now. Like John Wick is a franchise to have now in the way of like action. We need that kind of stuff again, and it's just nice to have that that relevance of this kind of thing again. Let me know, guys, what you think of like these John Wick movies. I just want to give you guys a nice ranking, just to kind of tell, they're not bad, but there's still one is better than the other. But yeah, dude, you might disagree, you might agree. I want to know, guys. All this in the comments below. And as always, roll an empire. Laugh, smile, repeat.